it made me angry enough. I said, okay, Bernie's got my vote.
MSNBC's Ari Melber was in a coffee shop in New Hampshire interviewing voters about who they support. And I got to share this clip. So watch this interaction between this lady and Ari Melber.
What about over here?
I voted.
Who did you vote for?
I voted for Bernie, although there are a number of candidates that I really like, and so I felt like when I finished voting, I was still undecided, including Elizabeth, including Michael Bennet, for that matter.
Now, that's sort of a paradox to decide and then feel undecided. So you're a complex person.
Right. Well, yes, but I want to say the reason I went for Bernie is because of MSNBC. And
Go on.
I think it is completely cynical to say that he's lost 50% of his vote from the last time when there were two candidates. Now there are multiple wonderful candidates who would be great presidents and people that I think that we can unify and get behind. But the kind of the stop Bernie cynicism that I heard from a number of people, I watch MSNBC constantly, so I heard that from a number of commentators, and so it made me angry enough. I said, okay, Bernie's got my vote.
This is such an interesting point. What you're saying is, and we take criticism because we're journalists, right? We got to be open-minded. You're saying that hearing from people, whether it's guests, contributors, the conversations you've heard, that you felt were designed to tear down Senator Sanders or quote-unquote stop him, actually endeared him to you.
Absolutely, absolutely. I could have chosen several candidates, but that's what pushed me over the edge for Bernie.
That's really interesting, and thank you for sharing it. See, I knew you were complex. That's a layered way to make the decision.
What an incredible moment. And this kind of semi-confirms a lot of what we've been assuming about this negative press coverage of Bernie. Because all of this negativity against him is completely manufactured, talking about how he's unelectable or he's a socialist. And I mean, how many times do we have to go through this? Bernie Sanders is the most electable candidate because of the people that he's able to reach: young people, independents, working class voters. Those are the people you need to come out in 2020. In 2016, you're going to have those same Democratic voters that voted for Hillary in 2016 come out for the Democratic candidate, regardless, because they want to defeat Trump. So the people you have to win over are people that did not vote in 2016, and those are the young people, working class voters, independents. And here you have somebody who's, a little older, likely doesn't watch progressive media on YouTube, but she's able to recognize that MSNBC has been unfairly attacking Bernie Sanders, and that is what pushed her over the edge to support Bernie Sanders and ultimately vote for him in New Hampshire. Just amazing. And it shows you the power of facts. Like, I know it's kind of weird to point to facts, but that's what it is. If the attacks on Bernie were honest, if there was actually something to attack him over, if he was fighting for corporations back in the 80s and 90s instead of fighting for people, then you could actually actually be critical of him and attack him, and he could lose support. But the attacks on him are not honest. You go back in history, Bernie has been saying the same thing for 40 years. He is a rare politician in his authenticity and his fight for working people. Nobody else in this field can match him. And this lady here was able to recognize that MSNBC was being dishonest about him. And ultimately, that's what led to her vote. Incredible.